Good morning and welcome back to another CSS challenge. This is our target for today. We've got this circle with these 4 triangles around it. So to start off, if you're not sure how to do a triangle, I'm just going to do a quick illustration of how you can make a triangle with CSS. So here we have a div. We're going to remove the height and width. We can remove the background as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a different colored border to each side. So we're going to start with the border top. We'll add 50 pixels solid red. And we'll duplicate this for every side, so we'll go to the right next. We can maybe make this orange. Let's go to the border bottom. We can make this blue. And for the border left, we can make it purple. And let's add a width of 0 and a height of 0 as well. So here you can see each of these borders is forming a triangle. We have a red triangle, orange triangle, blue triangle, and a purple triangle. So now if we wanted to have just one of these triangles, what we could do is make the other borders transparent. So we can make this transparent, and now it looks like it's disappeared. We could do the same with the orange. And let's say we were trying to make a triangle that was pointing up, like the first triangle, like the top triangle in our target. We would make this last purple one transparent as well. And there we have it. We're just left with one blue triangle there. So that's the CSS triangle technique, and it's useful if you ever need to make a triangle. So now with that in mind, we can start making our HTML. What I think is going to happen, I'm going to have 3 rows. I'll have 1 row for this triangle, another flex row for these 3 elements, and 1 more row for the last bottom element. So for the first div, we'll call this one triangle A. The next div will have 3 elements inside it. The first one will be called triangle B. The next one will be our circle. And the third one will be triangle C. This one should be triangle B. And our last div will be triangle D. So to get started, let's actually start with the body. We'll add a background color. We'll add this green. We're also going to add a display of flex, a flex direction, of column. That way all the rows will be stacked on top of each other. And we will justify the content in the center. And we will also align the items in the center. So now let's start working on our triangles. So we know we want all the borders, except for the triangle showing, to have a border of transparent. So let's just add a border of 50 pixels solid transparent. And for triangle A, we want a border bottom, which will be 50 pixels solid green. And we're going to use this light green. There we go, that's looking pretty good. It looks like our triangle is a little bit too wide. The triangle in the target is a little bit taller and narrower. So to make it a little bit narrower, we can reduce the border on the sides. That looks pretty close. Next, I guess we'll go to the next triangle, which would be triangle B. We're going to need a border right on this triangle. Let's go 50 pixels solid green. Just going to skip the circle for now. Let's go to triangle C, which will have a border left of 50 pixels solid green. And finally triangle D, which will have a border top 50 pixels solid green. So as you can see, our elements are not positioned like we would want them. That's because this div needs to be a flex container. So for a flex container, let's give it a display of flex. And we're also going to need to add in our circle. Let's add that in. Let's try a width of 75 pixels. We'll try a height of 75 pixels. It's going to have a background of the dark green. And it's going to need a border radius to turn it into a circle. We'll add 50%. Alright, it looks like we're getting close. It looks like we just need to space things out a little bit. So for the body, let's add a gap. Let's try 20 pixels. For our flex container, let's add a gap. Let's try 20 pixels. And it looks like we're pretty close. I think it might be being pushed down by the default margin on the body. So let's just remove that. We're very close. The last thing we need to change is the height and width of our circle. Let's try 80 pixels. And there we have it. It looks like we've got a good match. Let's submit it just to be sure. And there we have it, 100% match. Yeah, so just to review, we've been using the CSS triangle technique, using the borders to create these triangles. You can add transparent borders to 2 or 3 sides of the triangle, or to 2 or 3 sides of an element. Add a colored border to one of the sides, and you'll end up with a triangle. And using flexbox to position all of our elements on the page. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.